Steve Stine from GuitarZoom here. Thank you so much for watching this video and giving me the opportunity to help you a little bit in your guitar journey. In the last two videos, what we've been doing is we've been talking about how imperative ear training is to your guitar playing success and to try and make things just way more efficient in your life. Time is absolutely essential for us and valuable, and so we don't want to be spending 17 hours practicing things when we don't need to be. And the trick with ear training is it simplifies your life in that when you hear songs, it makes it easier to sort of plan out the attack of the song. You know how the chords are going. You know what the progressions are doing. You know how you're going to sort of approach playing it on your instrument. And so you're not just starting from square one and having to go on, the internet and try and figure out from a video or, tablature or something like that how the song goes. You've already got it mapped out in your head. And so what I want to do in this video is I want to start talking to you a little bit about the concept of mapping and the concept of clearing. And these two things I teach a lot of, and I've been doing it for many, many years, for thousands of students, teaching them how to think about songs, not only the pitches that they're hearing, but the construction of the song itself, which is what I call mapping. Mapping is understanding when you're listening. If you've watched video number 2, I did approach this a little bit when I talked about how I used to use a record when I would learn how to play, and I would listen to a part on the song, and when it got to another part where things changed, I would stop listening. And I would develop that first part over and over and over. Then I would go to my guitar and I would figure out how it went. Once I figured it out, then I would move on to the second part. Just the second part. So I wouldn't listen to a minute and a half of the song and then try and analyze everything. I would just listen to little segments of it. Okay? That to me is the concept of mapping, and there's really two ways of approaching mapping. There's small block and big block. Small block is when you do exactly what I'm just saying. You would take just a piece and develop that piece. Then you go back and develop the next small piece and develop that piece. And then you go back and take the next piece or the next block, and you would learn that. You would listen to it, figure out what's going on, go to your guitar, and figure it out. So that's small block of mapping. Big block is when I don't use my guitar at all. I set my guitar aside. I'm not worried about 1-4-5. I'm not worried about direction. Learning like we did in the last video when I went. And we did some ear training with that. In this section of mapping in large block form, what I'm doing is I'm not trying to figure out how the song goes. I'm trying to get a sense of how the song is working in terms of its construction. I listen to the verse, and I hear that the verse essentially has 3 segments, not 3 chords, not that, 3 segments to it. And then I hear that there's a bridge. So in my mind, I'm thinking about the verse and the fact that it's got 3 pieces to it, 3 overall pieces. I would still have to go back and small block all of those, but I'm figuring out how that verse is going to work. Then I move into this bridge. What's happening here? And then I move into the chorus. What's happening here? On the larger piece, I've learned verse, bridge, and chorus, and I've mapped that out. On a smaller level, I've learned that there are segments within the verse, how many times it's repeating, that sort of thing. Going into the bridge, going into the chorus. Coming out of the chorus, going into the verse again, only this time the verse is done 1 time instead of 2 times. Then it doesn't do a bridge. It goes right into the chorus. I am mapping the construction of this song, and I would absolutely have a piece of paper, and I would be writing all of this down. So I know how many times I'm doing a verse, moving into a bridge, moving into a chorus. I'm overseeing the generic map of this song, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. Then we move to the second level, which is understanding what segments or what different inferences are happening within each context. The verse, what's happening in there? Again, maybe not 1-4-5, maybe not visualization yet, but what do we hear that is repetitious, right? What's different? And the different parts I always refer to as red flags. So if I have verse times 2, bridge, chorus, verse times 2, bridge, chorus, interlude, boom. Interlude for me is a red flag. I need to be aware that at that point in the song, something is different. And there's a million different ways to do that. I'm going to teach you how to do that. Okay? Then once I've got all of that kind of planned out, I've got the overall construction of the song. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to start figuring out which ones are 1s or 4s or 5s, or I'm going to start using my theory. What direction is it moving, right? Well, we talked about in the last video. Is it moving up? Is it moving down? If it doesn't sound like it's a 1 or a 4 or a 5 or a 2 or a 3 or a 6 or something, what does it sound like to me? Can I go to my 6th string, like we did in the last video? Can I start figuring out what those chord changes are? And then I start putting it back into from my small blocks to my medium blocks, and then into my large blocks. So the great thing about this is once you really learn how to do that, you can learn songs in a very short amount of time. I can figure out the map, the chord changes, and everything like that. Again, and this is in a regular song. If I'm listening to a prog metal song, it's going to take a lot longer, isn't it? But if I'm listening to an Eagles song or something like that, it really only takes 1 or 2 listens to figure out all of these elements. So the great thing about that is I'm also pushing some of these ideas into my long-term memory. So it's not just about the chords that I'm playing, it's when do I play them? How do I play them? How are they organized? So the more of this idea of pushing these things from my short-term memory into my long-term memory, the easier it is for me to play this song, and the easier it is for me, obviously, to memorize it and to use it further down the line, further down the road. So if I need it with a band, and I've got 30 songs I have to learn with this band, that's impossible if you're just looking at it, right here in front of you. You got to be able to step back. You got to learn how to do those. And that's what I'm going to help you with. So again, I want to tell you, I'm so excited about this video, and I think it's going to help you a lot, this Ear Training Made Easy course. And I want you to respond to me. Let me know if these are helping you a little bit. Again, a lot of this is conceptual, so it's not just hands-on and how to play a G chord. You need some of that for sure, and you probably already know how to do that anyway. This is about how to think about things. It's about the concept, the cosmic part of learning how to play guitar. And I'm here to help you. So please make sure that you comment any questions, any comments that you've got. Make sure that you check out our Facebook community page for Guitar Zoom. We're going to be able to help you there too. So enjoy this course. I hope it takes your guitar playing to the next level. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.